WarRoomSports.com. Get that mobile app.
What's up, everybody out there in Big Brother Nation, and welcome to another edition of Operation Big Brother, brought to you as usual by War Room Sports. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dev, and I'm at the round table for this finale recap with all my partners. We got Miss Adina. What's up, Miss Adina?
Hello, everybody.
We got the homie Frank from Sports Kings, sports-kings.com, that is.
I just want to shout out all my Guadalupean brothers and sisters.
We got the homie Hank from Imaginary Players.
What's going on, everybody? It's good to be back. I missed the last couple episodes, man.
No doubt, no doubt. And we got my partner from War Room Sports, Jimmy the Blueprint.
Yo, I just watched the unsung Bone Thugs and Harmony, so I just want to say R.I.P. to Uncle Charles.
Yeah,
But if you don't mind, man.
All right, look, man. Big Brother 16 is over. I don't know if that's like reason to celebrate. It might be for people who didn't like the season. For us, I mean, I guess the season wasn't all that, but at the same time, we have our little group, and, you know, that's the best thing that happens during the season. So, of course, you know, a lot of people are probably going to miss that. But we're just going to give our thoughts on the finale night. And then after that, we'll give our recap of the whole season and any more improvements, because we started talking about those last week. Any more improvements we have for the show going forward, we'll throw that out there at the end. So let's just dig right in, man. I think and I believe that you all, you know, agree that the right person actually won Big Brother this year.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Slaughtered the competition from beginning to end. It was like mind fuckery that I haven't seen in a while, especially on this show. What did you guys think of his overall game from start to finish?
I think the right person won. He set the bar kind of high. We were talking the other day, like, I don't know what someone's going to do next season to, like, you know. But then again, like you said before, when Dan did what he did, we thought no one would ever be able to do anything like that. But this was like next level.
It still took a while.
Yeah. I mean, how many
the most
how many seasons was it ago when Dan had the funeral?
The funeral
Like
was
that
the
was
second season, right?
13, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we on
Wasn't that in his
16.
second season?
We on 16.
That was
Yeah, it was
Big,
the second
that
time
was
he
Big
was
Brother
back.
13, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a couple years ago, but when he did that, when he did the funeral, we didn't think anyone would be able to do anything like that.
Yeah.
So he took us to another level. But like I told you before, I think next year is going to take someone to have to come in and start shape shifting, like, you know, they're in X Files or something.
Or like three house guests at one time. Just walk in the room
Yeah.
and be another person.
I think Derek was the most consistent in his game. Like, he stayed the same the whole time. Like, he wasn't erratic like Zach. Like, out of nowhere, Zach just came out and was just crazy with it. I think he was the most consistent, and nobody could ever quite figure out what he was doing. And when they did figure it out, they were gone. So nobody ever had a chance to try and get back at him.
I got scared at the finale because it seemed like they still hadn't figured out what he had done. Like when they were having that powwow with the doc, they were still like not trying to give Derek the credit. And Derek, he took the high road when he was you know, giving his final speeches and answering everybody's questions. But I kind of wanted him to be like, hey, look around. I'm the reason each of you eliminated each other. Like, because I think he almost had to like paint by numbers with those dudes in there because they really didn't understand what he did to them.
Yeah, you know what? He
was still politicking in his speeches too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? He kind of did that. But what I respected was, you could tell they respected him, specifically like Christine. You know, you could tell she respected even Frankie. Like, you know, Frankie was pissed, but Frankie gave him his respect, and you could tell by the votes that, you know, they appreciated what he did. They realized what he did.
Some people were in their feelings because seriously, you know, I mean, I know we've been giving Derek a blumpkin the whole season, but there was no way he shouldn't have got a unanimous vote over anybody. So anybody who didn't vote for him were definitely in their feelings.
Well, Jocasta was
just because he played y'all in the game doesn't mean that when he prayed with you. It wasn't, serious. A lot of people don't
Yeah.
play with that kind of stuff. It was a prayer. It wasn't, I'm keeping you in the house or anything like
Then
that.
Jesus keep your Costa.
She was Bible thumping, and who else
Donnie
was it
in
that played
his
for me?
feelings. Donnie was
But here's the thing about Donnie though. As much as like
Yeah.
people love Donnie, you can see the change in him when he got to the jury house. Like he got a little nasty. Like he wasn't the same person.
because he wasn't playing anymore, so he didn't have to be nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Donnie did change a little bit. Speaking of Donnie, the way somebody added it up in our group, didn't Donnie actually go home with more money than Cody?
Yeah.
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 Because I think it was Monica. She said you don't get the stipend or something if you don't if you finish in the final two, you don't get the stipend. And because of the stipend, he added it all up.
Not that
You know what
serious
the
to
thing
me,
is,
but
though?
why is that fair? I don't get that. They stayed there the whole time too. Like,
It doesn't seem fair. You know what it is? You know what I do want to say though is that as much as we all love Derek, like having a narc in the game is kind of cheating. Like I'm still like caught up on that a little bit. Like when they said at the beginning, oh, he's an undercover cop, that's having cheat codes. That's his job is basically to do exactly what he's doing in the house.
That's definitely up, left, down, down. Never mind.
He was on his Mortal Kombat hit.
It's funny that you say that though, because I've really been, since we didn't do this show right away like we usually do them, I've had time to think about it. And, I think about the fact that during the finale they played his casting interview and he told you exactly what he was going to do. I was thinking, like, this really wasn't fair. Like, I'm starting to think
you know what? I mean, Adina made me think about it when she said a couple minutes ago when she said he kind of kept his cool the whole time, because the thing about this house is you've seen people start off cool, but after a while you separated from everything, you start going stir crazy. I mean, Zach was cool in the beginning of the show, if you remember,
Right.
and turned up because after a while, I mean, you saw Helen start turning up last year. Like after a while, you separated from everything. You got no TV, no touch with the outside world. You start going crazy. But he's trained, to maintain that.
Yeah.
been undercover before.
Especially being away from your family and all that stuff. If he's 3 years undercover, he's had to do that too before. So it really is an unfair advantage. But like Hank, I was hoping that he was going to give the Denzel Washington Training Day speech to all of them at the end. Like I run things here. You just live here, and this is what I did this is why I run town. But
And by the way,
I know Frank with the comments you were making. Being away from his family might not have been too hard for him.
Homely wife. Shout out to her.
yeah, he might have to buy a new wife with $500K.
No, but seriously, he was in too deep, man. This was 90-day undercover work for him. This is easy work, man. When I saw that interview, I started thinking, like, I think Big Brother planted him there, and I think the big wigs at the network probably had like a Randolph and Mortimer bet where, we're going to put him in the house. Let's see. I bet you $1.
I didn't even think about it though. This has been like one of the better seasons the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Because specifically last year I didn't like it at all.
I think this was better than last season.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it felt like reality TV, like what's considered reality TV right now. Like it's not the Big Brother that I'm used to from season 2 up to now. It's not what I was used to. It seemed like it was almost like it was scripted, like the episode before the finale. It was like they were reading off cue cards.
It didn't seem natural. It seemed
but that episode
really fake.
Like that,
yeah. Well, I would say
it was something about this one this year that just struck me as odd.
I definitely agree with Adina.
You know why, Frank and Adina? Why it seemed more odd? Because Derek was leading all of the conversations because he works for the network. He was leading all the conversations, bringing up all of the topics, and it really seemed a little bit corny. But yeah.
You know what else it was?
But you got to think of what else they had to work with. Like Cody and Victoria don't look like they read that well.
Victoria probably couldn't start a conversation.
First of all, Cody was low-key
even the diary
all
room
season.
session seemed scripted.
Yeah,
like they were reading, like somebody was sitting in front of them with cue cards telling them what to say. Like it didn't. It seemed
even,
I guess,
even if
overacted.
Even if not scripted, staged. Like we're not going to tell you what to say, but we're going to tell you what we want you to talk about.
You know why I think that was for me?
It was like love hip hop.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of people that were trying way too hard to be likable or to be controversial. Zach comes to mind. I always thought Zach was trying way too hard to just be like that crazy guy that everybody talks about. He wanted to be that guy, but he wasn't. Frankie's the same way.
Until he broke down in the diary room, like, what was that?
Yeah, when he was like crying.
Just give him the money.
He had a complete
Just
meltdown.
give him the money.
Why am I here?
Frank, it seemed like Zach, maybe his Big Brother idols were like Dr. Will and Evil Dick.
Right.
Because those were the dudes who were just
I
in
don't
your
doubt-
face, tell you that they don't like you, and they still ended up winning the game somehow.
Can I just say something? Evil Dick is now hashing out his relationship problems on couples therapy on VH1 right now.
Yeah,
I just want to put that out there.
Evil Dick spent that $500, and he's just trying to get some loot. He spent it on tattoos, probably. Probably got tattoos.
Yo. But you know, I mean, that's going to be a problem moving forward because what can you do to change it? Like I said in the beginning of the season, everybody at this point has watched it for years and years, so they come in
That's the problem.
game plan. I mean, these people even came in with names of their of their alliances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bomb Squad alliance called the Bomb Squad that lasted 2 weeks that he thinks is still going on to this day.
Yo, he's still repping it right now. He's like, I text
Somebody told him at the
No.
finale. Somebody had to tell him at the finale, like, look, man.
Of all the
I guarantee you.
Of all the people that are going to be surprised when they watch back, I think Caleb's going to be the one that's just most salty.
But you know what? I actually think he played one of the better games. He didn't lie to anyone. He was just straight up and down with everybody. He was the most loyal person alive.
I think he was
'Cause you
good,
know,
but he was still
Caleb-
delusional the whole time.
Caleb was supposed to go out the second week, but he found a way to get off the block. And even though he was a beast in the competitions, like he never really had that spotlight on him where everybody was like, we got to get him out of the house. Like he played a really good game.
He did.
You know why?
I mean, and so did
Because
Frankie. Frankie did as well.
He was their pit bull. They was like, we're gonna keep him because
Born
we need
identity.
somebody. Yeah, go get him. Go get him.
I call it born identity.
Frankie was shocked he wasn't. Frankie was shocked he wasn't voted one of America's favorite
Oh, yeah.
players.
Definitely
he was
Bob
stirred.
Graham.
And now since it's over, I'm kind of shocked too because he seems to be the most popular person from all that. I mean, he already had a certain level of
He
popularity.
got 1.5 million followers, and his sister is a mega pop star.
I've seen him everywhere.
He
at
told
this
you.
point. Yeah, I've seen him everywhere at this point.
But I
Like,
think-
you know,
I
Who
think
was
that
it?
might
It
have
was-
worked against him too.
It was Nicole, Donnie, and who was the third one?
Zach.
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 I could see him being behind Zach and Donnie, but
Whoa.
Nicole, I don't know how Nicole got up there, man.
How'd you mean
So
that?
annoying.
Sympathy.
Mhm.
Sympathy.
Sympathy.
Probably also saw those legs in that
They're trying to get her some nasal surgery. Yo.
dress.
Back to Caleb real quick. Jimmy, I think you make a good point about how good of a game he played. But I think, well, we know where he went wrong is he played that good of a game, but he thought all of those dudes were playing the same game.
Yeah.
That's where he went wrong. Like, you are playing a good game, but they're not playing the same way
exactly.
you are.
It was real easy to get him out of
The
it.
look. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: the first time Caleb hears the words detonators, when he watches it back, he's gonna be
He'll
like,
be like, what?
"What?
Yeah, because he hasn't heard that yet. He
What's
hasn't
a
heard that.
detonator?"
Because the only thing they told him about was Hitman. So he has no clue what a detonator is.
I wonder if Amber made it home safe. I wonder if Amber made it home safe from me.
Did she make it home at all?
Yeah, somebody got to
No.
check on her.
She might be
She
tied
might
up
be
at
up in
a
the
LA
back
hotel
of-
right
Wrapped
now.
up here with a
Trunk of
Judy
his
chop,
car.
yo.
He said he Judy chopped her. Yo, I just want to say it one last time before the season's over. Yo, free Joey. She told y'all from the gate what it was. None of y'all listened.
Hey, Joey had that terrible looking scarf on, but man, that dress, Joey looked pretty good, man. Could have used her this season. Could have used her.
You know, shout out to Victoria for being the last woman standing, even though that doesn't get you any reward.
Yo,
Makes it,
No, shout
She
out to
really
her.
thought she was
Frank,
playing a
shout out to
game.
her for still being the last woman standing. It's change once it's done.
yo.
All right, so
she's-
do y'all think Derek would have actually taken Cody, or do y'all think he would have took the easy way out and took Victoria?
I don't know, yo.
You know, I actually feel like he would have taken Cody because I think he thought Cody deserved the $50K for second place.
But before I even answer that, I'm going to tell you that Derek probably was so happy that he didn't have to make that because
Absolutely.
nobody will ever know at this point. And Victoria, he can tell Victoria.
Yo.
We lost that.
Well, what?
But I agree with what Devin was saying. Like
tried to say.
it was the best. It was the best thing for him to not win that competition. It looked like he was trying. It didn't look like he was purposely throwing it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It
was
just worked
best
out that
for
way.
him.
It worked out perfect for him.
Because neither one of them were going to cross him.
Yeah, we all knew Cody didn't have that dog in him.
No.
He set it up to the point where he didn't have to win. Of course, he wanted to, but he didn't have to.
Yeah, but you know, CBS give you the fake out though. They make it seem like
it's
it's about to go down when in fact it really nothing happened. But I don't know.
They went and edited everything Cody said to make us look like he might even think about crossing Derek, and he wasn't.
I really did thought it was the perfect symbolism that in the final three, it did not matter who was going to win, that Derek was going to be in the final two.
Derek's got my back.
Cody would have taken. Right, Derek's got my back. It was just the perfect symbolism for the whole season that no matter what happened in the final three, he was in the final two. It didn't matter.
But I don't know if you guys peeped this, but I said something to the group about it when it was over. He grabbed him and says, don't worry about it, I got you. So they probably cut a deal like the World Series of Poker with. He gonna
give him that Team America money or something like that after taxes.
He give him his stuff after taxes.
Like $6,000.
So Jimmy, are you hinting or intimating that Cody gave the competition to Derek?
No, not necessarily. But I mean, you see this in the poker all the time, right? So let's say first place is 10,000 and second place is 5,000. What they'll do is when they get to the final two, they'll say, "Look, we'll just split this down the middle, and whatever, whoever wins."
Okay,
takes
but
it.
they didn't split that down the middle.
I'm not saying they split. We don't know that though. We don't know that though. I mean, I doubt it happened.
Derek ain't down the middle.
He ain't coming up off for 200.
I'm not saying he is.
He ain't coming off of nothing more than.
I'm not saying it is, but they could have cut a deal where, like, look, if I win 500, I throw you 100, and if you win 500, you throw me 100.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yo, that deal's gonna turn into like Cody. He's gonna convince Cody to give him his $50K.
Yeah, then he's gonna talk him out of that too. He's gonna somehow talk him out of that.
Cody's gonna go on with nothing. Like, how the hell?
Yeah, Cody probably signed over his 50.
I got to a point where I didn't think Cody was as stupid as we thought he was.
Yeah.
But those guys were all about loyalty. I don't think it was stupidity. It was just super loyalty. Derek just had this mind control over him. But if Cody would have made that move and crossed him, he would have won the game over Victoria.
Yeah,
I would have given Cody props. I would have put him up there with the top Big Brother players of all time if he'd have made that move. Just because Derek is he's high on that totem pole now. You get him out. Cody would have just instantly shot up the charts, but he was too scared to make the move, man. We're loyal.
Yeah, he kissed that 500,000 goodbye when he sent Victoria out instead of Derek.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Let me ask y'all a question. In that situation, would y'all have made the move and crossed Derek?
No doubt about it. I would have crossed. I would have taken Victoria in a hot second.
Hank.
Hell yeah.
I would have, but we saw so much more than they saw. Like they didn't see what Derek was doing on all different sides. So
I know, but I would like to believe that I just can't be mindfucked like that.
Hank, that's true. Hank, that's true. What's funny is because he didn't get hashtag his hands dirty. Cody probably thought Derek wasn't doing nothing. He probably said, "I'll kill him in the finals." He ain't win no competitions. He ain't really doing nothing.
Exactly.
Right.
And you gotta think if you send
the only thing
they shouldn't.
The only thing about that is that everybody saw that Victoria did absolutely nothing. So you knew that it was a guaranteed 500K. You take Victoria, there's no way.
No, I understand that, but think about this: all the backdoor and stuff that he did, Cody didn't know that. I mean, he didn't watch it all, and he didn't see it. So he probably thought Derek won a couple competitions, and he probably thought that he was the alpha male in the whole thing.
Yeah,
and you could tell when they called him the puppet.
Still,
when they called Cody the puppet, he was like, "What?"
Yeah, he probably thought he had it won once he took Derek. Like, he can't beat me.
You gotta take your chances.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, he can't beat me, but I'm still give my man $50,000.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Like,
I'm gonna take care of him and his daughter.
He really ain't do nothing. He won 4 competitions. What he really do?
See, but that's
the
thing. When you're a fan of this game, I don't understand how all of these people are fans of this game and they put so much stock into winning competitions. The best players who've ever played this game did it mentally. You know what I'm saying? Will was just in your face, like what you gonna do about it? And he still won. People Dick was the same
Yo,
way.
shout out to Enzo. Enzo didn't win anything, and then said, "I got a mean social game. I got a mean social game."
There's been a lot of good players in this game who didn't do jack. Like Dan didn't win jack. Dan won like 2 competitions in like 2 seasons.
You have to have the ability to win when you have to. Like when your back's against the wall and you're on the block, you have to be able to win. But besides that, like not being HOH is a good thing.
See that trait, Hank? That's Frankie. That's Rachel. That's Janelle. They were like beasts when their backs were against the wall. And
Yeah.
Yo, Frankie won a competition when his teammate sat on the floor.
The football competition at that.
The funny thing was Frankie was so lucky because that was the best competition that could happen in.
Exactly.
Because I look at that, I'm like, it looks easier to do with your own 2 hands rather than relying on somebody. But
Yeah.
Frankie killed it. He's gonna, he's popular. He's gonna get something off of this show, another show. Or he's gonna find a way to capitalize. And, plus his sister's a mega pop star.
So my thing is this: though,
150 million fans.
Who do you think, if anyone, could be an all-star from this season?
I would say Derek and Frankie.
I say Derek, Frankie, even Cody. Cody flirted his way to.
I think
he flirted with
Caleb,
Ugly Jones too. So
I think Caleb. I think Zach. I think they're pretty good. Like I think the guys, for the majority,
about
of
Zach.
Free Joey, because they played it
so
like.
emotional.
Yeah, they should bring Joey back.
I would put Caleb.
Because.
Caleb could be an all-star.
You think Caleb could?
Yeah.
I think Caleb could definitely be an all-star.
But all-star is the only way I would want to see another season with people who already know how to play the game.
Yeah. I agree.
Because
But I think it's
that's
gonna
when
be,
you really make your salt. When people already know you and people already know what you can do, and you still. That's why I still give Dan so much props, even though they had a head start because they came in that second season as coaches.
Yeah.
So they got through about 5 weeks without having to be a target. But as soon as they were thrown into the tank, all of those ex-people, Dan, Mike Boogie, they were all targets. So it was kind of difficult. But so to make it back to the finals, I give them props for that. So all-star is really
Here's my thing, though. I mean, because I know a lot of people say that, moving forward, you have to find a way to cast of people who've never watched. I just don't see how you could do that. Not that everybody in the world has watched the show.
I told you, Jen, you got to put lie detectors to use in this. Like, have you ever watched Big Brother?
Well, weren't they claiming
if you
that
can beat the lie detector, then you deserve to be in there. But
weren't they claiming that a lot of these castmates this season didn't watch? Like, I think Cody said he never watched Big Brother.
But it kind of seemed like as it went on.
That turned into a lie, because I remember that too, Hank.
Yeah, I think they were.
And then they get a diary room like, when I watch it on TV, but I'm like, hold up, they said
yeah, somebody like Zach, like I never watched, but then they start saying you're Rachel's cousin, and he knows exactly who Rachel is.
I told you guys last show how to improve the game. You go to the border, you grab some people trying to sneak in, and then you get 15 of them. And whoever wins this game,
get them Guadalupeans.
Yo, shout out to Hutch, because Hutch told me that's not gonna work because they're gonna be stabbing each other overnight. So
it's gonna turn into the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yo, he's bleeding out of 3 orifices. He's evicted.
I've heard everybody. Well, before I ask this question, somebody that I was talking to, they was probably trying to bring me down off my Derek Slurpfest a little bit, but they gave me something. Give me something to think about. They were, not only did he have the advantage because of his profession, but do you guys think he was that great of a player, like the best? Because we've been calling him the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Or does it factor in that they stuck him in the house knowing that he was that good with a bunch of morons? Because he had some dumb people in the house with him.
Yo, but I don't think they all were dumb. I think they became dumb.
I think a lot of these people were dumb. Like, I give him his props because you still gotta, But some of these people, like.
Listen, here's my thing. A lot of them were dumb. It's like
Victoria,
I gotta give him his props. It's like, yo, he never went up. Like, I don't even understand to this day how that happened. And it got to the point where people were pointing that out, and he still didn't go up. Like, well, he's never been up. Like, and it got to late in the game, and they still weren't putting them up. I don't even understand now to this point how he even did that. Like
Caleb even
some
went
people
through that
caught on
when
what he
he
was doing.
volunteered to go to the block that made him go home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what is that?
Yeah, for
Yo,
me,
Nicole compared him to Dan, and he got out the bed and was like, "Yo, she got a roll."
I really did do that. For me, I think it was a combination of both. I think it's like any blowout. Like any blowout in sports, it's a combination of having a great team against a bad team. It's just, those two things kind of combine, and you just get this blowout where somebody wins the game without ever going on the block. Like, how the hell is that even?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Davis was a good player, but he wasn't smart. I think the only other smart people might have been Frankie was smart, and
Yo, there comes Derek.
He used the lack of intelligence to his advantage, and you can't be mad at him for that because it won him $500,000. So I mean, it is what it is.
I ain't mad at him.
But like,
I'm just talking about where we rank him.
He would have easily won last season. He would have easily won the majority of the seasons. Like maybe there's a couple seasons where his BS wouldn't have worked, but for the most part, I think he would have won any season he played in.
I mean, listen, I'm calling him the GOAT because 50 some odd times and you don't go at once. That right there, you should have won 55. Just based on that. Forget everything else. Just based on that, you won.
55 nominations. He wasn't nominated one time.
How is that possible?
That's crazy.
Mind control, Debo.
Yo, that's the illest stat ever, yo.
Yo, he stood in a room in an alliance with 5 people and had 4 of the 5 people in the room and denied the alliance, and nobody called him out. He was like, I'm not part of that alliance. And 4 of the 5 people in the alliance were in the room.
And then made them argue with each other after.
Yeah, he did that.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. You get him.
Yeah. He's got so many highlights. He's got so many like GOAT moments. It's like
fresh off of the show, I think I would call him that. Y'all know me. I'm torn because I think even if I think he's a GOAT, I still think Dan is my favorite player. But it's still difficult just because, like, even Dan, I didn't even label him that after his first time. It took me to see him go in again, be dead on the water, do the funeral thing, and still make it to the finals again for me to say, all right, this dude is the best I've seen. So it's like I kind of want to see him again, but at the same time, I've never seen a wire-to-wire victory this dominating in this game. It was crazy, man.
Yo, if I was him, I would never come back.
The funeral was the best like act of all time. Definitely. But wire to wire is probably Derek.
I mean, Derek's ability just to create alliances with people, like him seeing like, okay, Victoria is going to be floated all the way, maybe not to the end. He didn't know she was going to go that far, but she's going to be floated so far. So I'm going to make an alliance with her just because she's always going to be an extra vote for me. Cody has a good game. I'm going to make an alliance with him. Caleb is killing, so let me get in between him and Frankie and make an alliance there. Like, he was just – his social game was crazy.
He was 10 steps ahead of everybody.
Victoria was never a threat, though. Victoria was never a threat. She couldn't win nothing.
Yeah, but she was only the vote that was going to be.
But he made her an asset. He made Victoria an asset.
He gave everybody
count
a
on
role.
her not to win a competition. She was good for not winning a competition. Even
like
if you thought she just might win, she would find some way to screw up and lose it anyway.
I think
they did the same competition twice and she still lost.
I think that was Derek's genius, though. What Hank brought up, I think that was Derek's genius. Whereas everybody saw Victoria as basically useless, he looked at her and he said, "That's an asset. That's a vote right there." And he made it happen. Yeah. He was always just 10 steps ahead. That was the best thing. Man, that's what he had.
He gave everybody a role. Victoria was a vote. Donnie was the pawn until they didn't need him anymore. Caleb was his pit bull. Frankie, Cody was his man, his partner, where he could manipulate him into doing whatever he wanted him to do when he was in power. He gave everybody a role.
That just reminded me of when Cody, they asked Cody what was his best singular move. He said, well, the one time that I went and me and Derek said, we worked to get the people who were coming after Derek out of the house. Like, what?
I still think what he did to Nicole was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Because he wasn't even thinking about her until she said that, and he just got right up and just flipped the whole house in like 10 minutes.
She was not the target until she said, You are as good as Dan Giesling. Whoa.
He got right up like, I'll be back.
You know what movie we forgot about Derek was when
He went to the Trump. Hold up, stay right there.
I think it was like Caleb was HOH and he was about to do something and like Derek was asleep in the bed and Frankie went and woke Derek up and was like, you got to change his mind. Like Derek was like half asleep and he was just like,
yeah, and he got up and did it.
He just did it. He was like half crunk. He was like, all right, this is what needs to happen. We got it.
Yo, I would love to be a fly on the wall on about 5 people's houses when they watch this back. Victoria, she's gonna need her family to watch it with her because she still won't be convinced that she can do this, on her own. She still.
I want to see Christine's crib when she's in there with her husband and she watch it back.
Right. But you know what, guys? Speaking of not bright, I'm going back to the whole Derek Dan thing. Like that whole funeral thing, they had to not be bright either because I've watched that on YouTube and I still don't understand what he said that made everybody change their mind. You go listen to it. He didn't say any profound.
But that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't think that a lot of people are stupid. I think being in a house that way, they kind of start to become clueless. Yeah, I really do. They're honest, they do. I mean, you cut off from society, yo. Like you're in utopia.
But you know what it is, though, Jim?
Yeah, it's paranoia too.
I'm not going to, back off. I think they're stupid. But at the same time, like I think people's emotions get to them because people go into this game wanting to trust people and I don't understand why that word.
No, it's human nature, man.
I ain't trusting nobody.
Yo, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say that now, Adina. But Maslow told y'all, man, his hierarchy of needs. When they go in, it's psychology, man. That's what it is.
If you're a fan of the
but
game,
you can fake those needs to get as far as you need to. Derek,
but yeah,
I'm at some point, he didn't trust nobody. He used them
I get that, but he's trained.
Tossed them to the side.
He's trained. At some point, if you're not trained that way, I'm telling you, you let your guard down. I mean, because it's just human nature. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say like, I would do this and I would do that.
I'm trained that way. just because where we from, like.
Right. I mean, everybody has a little bit of pessimist in them, right? Like,
I get that.
Give people the side eye just off of like.
Yeah, we from Philly, dog. Yo, we got trust issues that stem just
from birth.
I absolutely agree with that, but I also think that when you're away from that, and you're locked away from the world, all that. I think that's the beauty of the show, though, because you get to see that.
Because you're kind of looking for a friend. But you just can't get mad at people when you realize they've stabbed you in the back.
But that's why I appreciated that a lot of them didn't. Like, they were trying to frame it as if they were going to do that. But at the end of the day, they came back and they did the right thing.
That was the issue they had last year with everybody being, so offended with being stabbed in the back and lied to and betrayed.
That was whack.
Emotional.
Even with Dan, when they gave it to Ian, that was whack too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I definitely thought, I'm like, yo, this dude is going to win it again. They didn't give it to him because they were salty. Like, they were emotional, so, yeah, so it's crazy. All right, so, well, we already got Jimmy's improvement.
Absolutely. Only way to improve the show.
For next season. I mean, we even got Franks, but, with the new people, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. We got any other ideas before we get out of here?
I don't know. They just got to do something else. Like they recycling competitions. they recycling competitions. Like they throwing these dumb twists in. Like I said in the group, it's like it's not expect the unexpected anymore. It's expect the same thing we did last year with a stupid twist to make y'all think we doing something different.
Did you hear people like, well, it's week such and such, and we haven't done the such and such competition yet? I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Like how would they? Why do they know that?
Yeah,
they should know that. Like they need to change it up. They need to turn the game completely on its head and do something completely different that they've never done before.
I don't know what they can do. It may be time for us to end it. I don't know.
The idea's already been thrown, man. You just get new people who aren't fans. Everybody in America don't watch the show. They got ratings. They know they got to dig. It won't be that hard. They're a major network. But because seriously, if you keep just putting super fans on, you're gonna get the same thing. You're gonna get house votes. You're gonna get. I mean, everybody knows when something enters the house that they got to sit around and study because it's gonna be a competition. I want to see people just ignore something and then have to be like, damn.
So you want to see a bunch of Victorias.
I want to see this thing about come in and people be like scared and be offended.
Yo, did you see when they were trying to study when they were trying to study the faces and then they flipped to Victoria and she was like in another room Just like doing her nails or something. Like,
She's like, yeah, we need 16 Victorias.
I mean, Frankie was taking it so serious. He took the plate and like cut out the eyes and studied people's eyes. Like,
that kind of stuff, that's too much.
The only other thing I can
Then you
think
have
of is
to
that if they were to just employ one person that basically works on behalf of CBS just to mess up the game and like throw like he's not even playing for the 500K, like he's just there to just mess up the game, like
No, no,
so his dumb ass get voted out. Like,
basically,
he gets voted out.
like just put a
No.
spy.
I know what they should do. They should put a TV in the house. Give them all the channels they want, all sports packages, and nobody gonna pay attention to
Nobody's
anything that's
gonna
going.
play the game. They're gonna be watching TV.
And then when it's time to do a competition, they're not gonna have a clue what's going on because they've been watching TV the whole time. It's gonna be boring for us watching them watch TV, but I like the original idea. They got to find a way to find new people. Overall, I think it was better than last season. It was a pleasure, watching Derek do what he did.
Yeah.
Even dudes like Caleb. I think Caleb added some comedy to the show. He was funny after Amber went.
Yeah.
He wasn't funny
Yeah.
pre-Amber. I mean, before she left, he wasn't funny. He was creepy, and it was getting on everybody's nerves. Devin,
Yo, I found him
But
funny
was
because
entertaining, though.
he played a full game in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, he did everything there is to do within the
he was
house.
entertaining because of the way he was playing himself.
Yeah, he bit an alliance, he broke an alliance.
Yeah.
I kind of wish he had that Frankie in him where he could have done something to save himself and stay for a few more weeks. I would have liked to see how that played out.
Look, bro.
Yeah. He broed too much, he smiled too much, he cracked too much, and he made too many alliances in a week. It just wasn't going to work for him.
My man started an alliance within 15 minutes of going to the crib. Remember, he was like, they're bringing him in and
it
doing
wasn't
time.
15 because he had an alliance set before the second half came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
then
second half
he
didn't come in, and he already had an alliance set.
Yeah.
and then he invited people into the alliance without telling his other alliance people. He was just like, yeah, y'all straight, come on in.
Yo, he woke Caleb up like I had a cute girl. Like, yo.
Yo, I got 2 girls and a dog. Y'all have any parting shots for Big Brother 16?
I gave y'all my idea.
Do
That's all I got.
different.
Yo, I just want to shout out Parrish, who wasn't with us tonight, because like she always like lifts souls. Like anytime you threw it to her, she was just like, "Yo, this person's whack and this person's." So shout out to her. I hope we trash people on her behalf tonight.
Yeah, she.
Dev called everybody stupid, so yeah, we did.
That's for like the last 6-7 seasons. Everybody's just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if we can't get new people, if we can't get people who've never seen the game, I wouldn't mind an all-star season.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind a season. I think they tried it before where they had like every person actually knew somebody else in the house, but everybody didn't know that somebody else knew somebody in the house. Like I think it was one group or one couple that knew each other previously. But it'd be funny if everybody knew every person in the house.
They should do like
That
fathers
sound
and
like
sons.
the season
and
we
mothers
thought
and
we that sound like the season we wanted to do where they
daughters.
had
Oh yeah, like we could have gone in
teams
and
of people,
they
but
didn't know.
nobody knew that
Nobody
they knew
knew.
each other.
Yeah, that would have worked because we'd have just been giving each other signals from across the room like baseball players.
Now they would have put it together. Y'all black. They were like, oh, the black people definitely know each other. They look like brother and sister.
They only have about 4 schools they can go to. So,
The
I
cameras would
wanna
have
see-
caught it, but nobody in the house would have caught it.
I want to see a celebrity
we'd have
season.
been in the diary room.
I was just thinking that, Jimmy. I was gonna bring that up, Jimmy, but I
I
thought
want
it was whack.
to see. I want to see a celebrity season with like DMX, like
That could
my
work.
God.
That could work for entertainment value, but
Stevie J. Like I just want to see. I want to be able to pick the celebrities to see a
don't
celebrity
put
season.
Jocelyn in the house. It's gonna be violence. It's gonna
Get Swaggy P.
Oh yeah, Swaggy
Yeah.
P.
Swaggy P gotta be on there.
Got to Ron Artest. Put Ron Artest in the house.
Jimmy just want the mental disorder edition. of Big Brother. You want all the people with CTE and
Dennis Rodman in the crib.
Yo, we want Big Brother Short Bus.
Big Brother NBA. Big Brother. Hey, Frank, give me the Big Brother NBA edition, man. Rasheed Wallace, Boogie Cousins.
I wouldn't mind seeing Omarosa in the house.
Oh God.
All right, so real quick, last thing. I know that I said that was the last thing. Real
Yes,
quick,
sir.
off the top of your head, 4 people, Mount Rushmore of Big Brother history. Jimmy, who you got?
Oh my God.
Why you go to me first, man?
All right, I'll start it off because maybe I'll give people ideas. You might be, oh yeah.
I mean,
who said the other day?
Evil Dick, pause, Dan, Derek, and Mike Boogie.
Like Boogie.
No, I don't know, man.
I would probably have Jimmy's, but I would place Boogie with Will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
yeah.
I
There you go.
got
There you
Will,
go.
Will, Dan, Derek, and Evil Dude. I ain't
Evil
calling
Dude.
Evil Richard. We gonna call him
Yeah.
Evil Richard.
Evil Richard.
Evil Rich.
Okay, so Will, Dan, Derek, and Evil Rich.
Yeah. We all agree on that?
Yeah.
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 Definitely for now.
If I remember,
I don't know.
Need some
I
girls.
don't know. Rachel, man,
Evil is
Rachel
losing some of
blood.
his.
Joey.
No,
Evil
Rachel
is
gangster.
losing.
Joey.
Evil is losing some
Stop
of
the
his
hush, man. Say it
some of
with
his
keys,
Mount
man.
Rushmore
Yo,
status on couples
I know-
therapy right now.
I know y'all hate Rachel. Rachel's
I was
gangster.
so mad that Evil Rich had family issues the second time he was in because I wanted to see. I like to see what they do the second time because
Yeah.
you move up the list to me if you can, even if you don't win, if you could dominate the second time, that's impressive because they already know you and they already know what you can do.
He said Evil Richard's losing points though. Wait, hold on though, man. Y'all gotta give Rachel her props, man. Rachel's honorable mention.
You know they would definitely
go
put
Rushmore Part 2.
what's the two that just got engaged? They would automatically put those two.
Yeah, they love them. Like, I
Popular.
don't want to see that. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
All right, so when we do like our first episode next season, since it's not going to be much to talk about on the initial episode, we'll get into that stuff and we'll do a list of.
Hold on, Deb. Before you say that though,
4 people who never won.
before you say that, I do want to salute my brother Hank right there because we did pick Derek
Yes,
before
sir.
we knew anything about
Just off of
anything,
photos.
just off of photos and
That dude looked
occupations.
I forgot who I picked.
Although
The most
Derek was on some
stereotypical
sort of,
episode of Operation Big Brother.
Yeah.
Derek was on has some sort of special Big Brother diet. 'Cause my man lost like a bean in the crease. You see how small
Yeah.
Derek was?
He
I'm about to
gotta
get on that
his
Big
life
I
Brother
said
diet.
that a couple weeks ago. He
have
lost
not,
a lot of
so.
weight.
That's all part of the role playing. He was trying to look a little younger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Derek thought he was playing Survivor.
Was he even a have-not? Like, were people even willing to put him as a have-not?
They were sneaking him food, even if he
They
wasn't.
didn't focus on slop this year like they used to. They didn't
Yeah.
focus on that a lot. But I think people are so used to it now. It probably ain't nothing but oatmeal.
They was sleeping on the ice bed though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was messed up. That was
This
messed
show Donnie, he make you all sad. I'm eating slop. I guess he put some sugar in it. It's cool. But
up.
all right, so this is our final episode of this season, Big Brother 16. We'll definitely see all of you guys next season. Hopefully, one of our ideas will get picked up, and the show will be
Let's go.
much more interesting.
Home
Like we
Depot
always
version.
tell you guys, make sure you subscribe to the page so you know when the show starts back up. Or if you're a sports fan, you can check out everything we do in the sports realm as well. Like the video, leave your comments, let us know what you thought about the season, and give us your ideas for next season. But for my partners down here, Dina, Frank, Hank, and Jimmy the Blueprint, I'm that dude, Dev. We will see y'all next season. Don't accept mediocrity. Be steadfast in the war against ignorance.
See you
Shout out
chumps
to
on
Derek.
top.
You that boy.
Strong.
Kuwait is the war room with 5 nights at the round table. 5 Philly guys diversified and educated.